This has major implications for the New York Knicks as we have a huge update that changes the complexion of the series between the New York Knicks and the Detroit Pistons completely. And now the Knicks look like they'll be able to get a sweep against the Detroit Pistons. And also, it is official. We have a huge update on Jalen Brunson as well, and we're going to break it all down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. And if you guys are part of that 62% that's not subscribed to Knicks Digest, then make sure to subscribe. This is the place to be for all New York Knicks content, all playoffs long, all off-season long. We have so much good stuff coming to you guys. I did get locked out of the TikTok, so I have to work on that, getting back in, because I'm loving making these TikToks and YouTube shorts for you guys. But on top of that, we have a lot to get into, so let's jump into the video, because the Knicks, things just changed monstrously. If that's not a word, it now is, because the New York Knicks just really saw a massive change with the Detroit Pistons, and with the way that Tom Thibodeau has shown extreme flexibility already through one game of the playoffs, what we are seeing right now has the potential to really change everything for the playoffs going forwards with the New York Knicks, as we have a huge update on the Detroit Pistons and one of their key players, their only rim protector, their only source of rim protection in Isaiah Stewart. We have a huge update on him. He's also their muscle, and it was revealed by Bagley that Pistons big man Isaiah Stewart had to get imaging on his leg after game one. Stewart exited the game in the fourth quarter at the very start of the Knicks' big run. He was laboring for most of game one, and given Stewart's importance, this injury will clearly impact the rest of the Knicks-Pistons series. Now, Stewart on the season averaged 6 points per game and 5.5 rebounds, getting nearly 2 assists, blocking 1.5 shots per game, also shooting 32% from 3 and 56% from the field. Stewart was a very solid player. Great defensive box plus minus. Stewart showed a lot in his time, and now with where things stand, the New York Knicks find themselves in an excellent situation. And I'm not saying I'm happy that Stewart got injured. I want to specify I'm not. I really do hope Isaiah Stewart's not hurt. First of all, I don't want to see the Knicks win based off injuries, but more importantly, I don't want to see anyone get injured. I've dealt with serious injuries in basketball. They suck. You can't root for them at all. It's not the right thing to do. Also, you want to beat the best versions of teams, and you want everyone to be healthy and not just get injured at the end of the day. But Stewart is dealing with what's right now labeled as knee inflammation, which does have him questionable for this game. And this is really bad for the Detroit Pistons because he's their rim protector. As we know, he exited the game at the beginning of the Knicks run, and they went on that run. A lot of those shots were shots that could have been altered by rim protection, but there wasn't any out there. Jalen Brunson, as good as he is not a rim protector. And now, where things stand, the Detroit Pistons could find themselves in some serious trouble. Looking at the way that they played against the New York Knicks in game one, we saw Tobias Harris play 40 minutes as the leading guy in minutes, and Jalen Brunson played 25 minutes to Isaiah Stewart's 19 when he was dealing with the injury, so there was a bit of time on the floor between Brunson and Stewart together. But on top of that, we saw them go a 9-man, really 8-man rotation with 6 minutes of Ron Holland. And you look at everything in the way that they're playing, the Knicks, they found themselves in a very interesting spot because now Stewart, who played 20 minutes, is really going to be hobbled as he had to get imaging on his leg. He's still at a positive plus minus, but he's not 100%, and the Knicks are going to understand that, and they're going to attack the rim more now, and it's going to lead to more attempts down low. It's going to lead to the Knicks trying to make Stewart run a lot as well. They're probably going to try to make Mitchell Robinson do a bunch of rim running when Stewart's guarding him, and also just make Stewart work even harder when he's on just 1.5 legs. It's what teams do. It's not like saying like, oh, well, because he's injured, they're going to do this. But because Isaiah Stewart's injured, the Knicks are, and I'd say this if this was the other way around. I have said this about teams against the Knicks. The Knicks are going to use that to their advantage. Let's not sit here and act like teams don't use injuries to their advantage. They do. Teams use them all the time. They know a player is injured. They're like, all right, well, let's make him run. I said it about Jalen Brunson in the literal last video I made. With Brunson going over that ankle twice, rolling that ankle, teams are going to force him to try to play with his weight on that right ankle. Why? Because it's not at 100%, so it's going to cause him to be a bit labored, be a bit slower, and that's just how the game is played. It's how sports are, so it's just part of the game at the end of the day, and where things stand right now for the New York Knicks, for Tom Thibodeau, for the Detroit Pistons, for Jalen Brunson and JB Bickerstaff, the Knicks are going to take advantage of this. Now, the Pistons are down to Jalen Brunson. They do have another center who they could use, and the Knicks actually beat him last year. As the Knicks, they will now be going up against Paul Reed as the backup center if Stewart is to miss time. Reed this season averaged 4 points per game and 2.5 rebounds, mainly spending time with the Detroit Pistons, getting 1 assist and a steal per game, shooting 50% from the field and 28% from three. The Knicks, and specifically Mitchell Robinson, absolutely dominated Paul Reed last playoffs against the Philadelphia 76ers when Reed played for them. Paul Reed was known to say against the New York Knicks that they'd rather face the Knicks than the Celtics because the Knicks were the easier matchup. Yes, he was correct. I'm not really mad at Paul Reed for saying that because it was an objective fact. At the end of the day, he said that, and then the Knicks beat him, so karma got him. But at the same time, the Knicks are aware, they know how Paul Reed plays basketball, and Mitchell Robinson devoured him last time. So the Knicks would try to devour Paul Reed again. And with all that in mind, if Stewart's out, Reed is not the same level of rim protector. Yeah, he's a good shot blocker. I'm not saying he's not. He averaged 0.6 blocks per game, but the attempts were very limited, so it's kind of one of those situations where he's only getting so many minutes. But at the same time, Reed is a solid defender, but the Knicks have two legit 7-foot big men out there in Karl-Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson. If the Knicks decide to go big against a lineup that has Paul Reed and Tobias Harris out there, which I do want to see them do, because then, first of all, Karl-Anthony Towns is just going to feast down low, and on top of that, Mitchell Robinson's going to be sitting there getting every offensive rebound. Yeah, when Duren comes in, it could get a bit difficult for the Knicks, but at that point, it's fine, because you want to use that big man duo against a Paul Reed, Tobias Harris, or even an Isaiah Stewart, Tobias Harris front court, just to mess with them and just to let Karl-Anthony Towns kind of get hidden on Tobias Harris, who, yes, played a great game yesterday, or not yesterday, but last game, but we might need to see a bit more about Tobias Harris before we go there and decide to say all that. Now, where the Knicks played yesterday, they used their big men a good amount. Mitchell Robinson played 18 minutes, Karl-Anthony Towns played 39 minutes, and we will see Mitchell Robinson's minutes steadily increase as time goes on, and his conditioning gets better and better, so that's good to see. On top of that, total quarters spent in foul trouble. Jalen Brunson is at the very top. He's the really big red line at the top. He's spent the most quarters in foul trouble. So with Isaiah Stewart in some trouble and the Knicks, they're going to be going against more Jalen Brunson for Brunson now around 30-some-odd minutes tonight. They'll be able to get him in foul trouble, make him scared to play defense, and Brunson, already not the greatest defender in the world, the Knicks would be able to really, really take something here, and that would be great for them to do so. So I want to see them be able to pull that off. Brunson's great at drawing fouls. Mikal Bridges draws fouls well. Karl-Anthony Towns draws fouls well. So the Knicks can use this to their advantage, and they absolutely should, and I really do hope that they do. All that being said, we do have a bit more to discuss as well. As Jalen Brunson, it's official, has been named as one of the finalists for the Clutch Player of the Year. Now, Brunson is the favorite to win this award. He absolutely should win this award. He deserves it. The other two guys in here have also been very clutch, though, in Anthony Edwards and Nikola Jokic. I'm kind of surprised Trae Young isn't in here statistically. He should be, but it is what it is. Well, where things stand right now, Jalen Brunson is definitely the front runner to win this award. He's widely expected to win it, but it is interesting to see the guys who he's matching up with. Jalen Brunson on the season was great. 26 points per game, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, getting a steal per game as well, shooting 48% from the field and 38% from three. Going up against guys, and again, these stats are not what prove it, but just to look at the stats, Anthony Edwards put up 27.5 points, shooting 39% from three, 44% from the field, also grabbing 6 rebounds and 4.5 assists. Meanwhile, Nikola Jokic, who in my mind should win MVP because, I mean, look at these numbers, and the Nuggets are terrible outside of Jokic, and they'd probably win like 20 games without him. Jokic is putting up 30 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists, getting 2 steals a game, and shooting 57.5% from the field and 42% from three. I mean, genuinely, what the hell? Jokic is insane. He's clearly the best player in the NBA. He deserves the MVP award because the Nuggets would not be anywhere near the playoffs without Jokic. But Clutch Player of the Year award, that belongs to Jalen Brunson. We've seen that time and time again thus far with Jalen Brunson as well. The man deserves this Clutch Player of the Year award. I mean, truly all season, he was great for the New York Knicks. Never afraid of the moment, always doing all the dirty work for this team, being able to hit the big shots, coming in the clutch, always keep his calm, cool, collected style of play. All the numbers indicate that Brunson should be the guy also to get that Clutch Player of the Year award. He's great in the isolation at the ends of games. He's completely got such great control on the ball as well. Everything we've seen from Jalen Brunson shows that the man does deserve all the credit that he's been getting recently because he just has been that good. He was a true superstar once again this season, played in exactly 65 games, so he got to the mark where he should absolutely, or where he is allowed to be in the NBA awards, got there by just the right amount of games, and does everything that you'd want out of an NBA superstar. So I love the way that Jalen Brunson has played this season. I do think he deserves to be the Clutch Player of the Year just based off everything we've seen from him thus far. And I am really, really excited to watch him likely win this award. So hopefully Brunson does get it. As mentioned by NBA University, he is second in clutch points despite being 76th in clutch games played this season. His efficiency rose to a 63.4 true shooting percentage. So Jaylen Brunson, absolutely the guy who should be getting that Clutch Player of the Year award. I hope he does. I kind of think he will. I'd be pretty surprised if he didn't. So we'll see how that all goes. The siren out there is because Jalen Brunson is going to win it just on time. But guys, let me know what you think. Who do you think deserves Clutch Player of the Year? How do you think the Knicks should go about this now knowing that Isaiah Stewart is dealing with a hobbled knee? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll be sure to get back to you guys. Let's go win game 2 of this. I do expect the Knicks to win game 2. I think they'll win it fairly handily. I think Jalen Brunson's going to play well. I think Cat's going to have a phenomenal game. And also, I think Mikal Bridges will play a lot better. But he was great on defense. I do want to say last game. He played some of the best defense all season. And that's really what matters at the end of the day more than anything. But guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Knicks.